pauvre qui vote ou celui qui a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Amen, c'est le président. Hi, good day to the beautiful people of the Cameroons, the great people and civilians of La République du Cameroon, and the wonderful people of British Southern Cameroon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maître Mola Alex Ndiveli Sinke, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Ladies and gentlemen, today I don't can talk something very important. And I'm advocating to the government of La République du Cameroon. I have looked into the cases of most of the Anglophone British Southern Cameroonians who have been detained in your prison. Most of those charges, I tell you, they are wrong. You have to release those people before another person dies, like Anise Ekane in prison. It is very important. I've looked at the case of the Nera10. I understand there are lawyers in the Cameroons. There's Akere Muna. Akere Muna. I'm calling you precisely because they say you're a powerful international lawyer. That's what I see. Go and review the case of the Nera10. I've looked at it. You cannot charge those people, or there's no evidence taking into consideration the constitution of the Cameroons, taking into consideration criminal procedure in Cameroon. There is no way you will charge the Nera10, Abdul Karim, Machobixy, and Ngalim Felix, Benji, Terence. You cannot charge them. I'll tell you why. I don't understand, to be honest. I see a lot of lawyers in the Cameroons. They say they are human rights advocates. They are this. These are things that you should be doing. You should force the government of La République du Cameroon to review these cases. If you look at the Nera10, these are the things that they will charge. I'm advocating Mr. Bia, Ngongo Ayolo, and Shantabia. Release those people. Those charges were false. Listen, you cannot charge these people all the things you're charging them. If they did the same thing in the United Kingdom, United States, European country, Nigeria, they won't charge them. South Africa, they won't charge them for what you are charging them. That is a fake charge. Listen, I've met most of these guys. I met Ayuk Tabe when we had a London, that was the first time I met him, London Political Summit. We invited him. I've met Ayuk Tabe and the Nera10 Patasa. I met them in Kondengui twice. I've met Ngalim, other people several times, Machobixy, Benji. I've met them. So I'm talking about people that I know. I have looked at the charges. That's it. I've looked at what they did. It doesn't match up. It doesn't. I speak not only as a leader of British Cameroon National Party. I've reviewed their cases. I've looked at their laws. And I'm calling on Akaremuna. I don't know. There's not only Akaremuna. There are other lawyers in the Cameroon. Most time I hear there is a case in court, I will see 50 Anglophone lawyers, they are going for the case, when it's only one person who is going to talk. That time that 50 of you go to, is it a court? Because there is, maybe when the lawyers and teachers, they were arrested or other things. Why can't you sit in your office and review these cases like myself? The Nera10, they were arrested. Is it on the 5th of, is it January or so, 2018? Nigerian High Court, the Federal High Court, made it clear, because that court is fairer than La République Court, military tribunal. You know, Dr. Endeli said we can't be with these people because their attitude, you'll be trying civilians in a military court. They don't do that in Nigeria. Nigeria have a similar culture like British Southern Cameroon. So my point is, then again, another UN working group on arbitrary detention, United Nations say release those people. So La République, do you think you're more intelligent or fairer than federal court in Nigeria? That they say the detention, the arrest, and the repatriation of those people, the Nera10, that it was illegal. Why are you using politics? In Nigeria, so too in British Southern Cameroon, our judiciary is independent. That's why some of us, we have triggered Article 65 of your constitution, that we have a right to self-determination. Okay, these are the charges against the Nera10. Terrorism, using violence against civilian, that's terrorism with a political goal. Take note, the Cameroon constitution gives these people right. What they were doing, they were exercising their Article 65 right. Your right to freedom of expression, to do politics, to assembly, to association. Then you're locking them with military tribunal. You cannot have a fair trial. La République Constitution says you need a fair trial. And they cannot have a fair trial in a military tribunal. I don't see any terrorism act there. These guys, I'll call their names, the Nera10. I don't. I've looked at their profile. I've looked at most of the things they've been doing. Maybe you or the government of La République, maybe you would have charged them for a lesser charge that they would spend up to 12 months in prison. You talk about rebellion. Rebellion is about violent opposition against the state. How can people say they want the Article 65 right, the right to self-determination? How is it violent? Or how is it rebellion? It's not rebellion. Financing terrorism. Show us the proof. Show us the proof that the Nera10, we need to see it. Because I don't see the act did not entail terrorism to me. I've looked at it. Because you are making financing terrorism. Revolution. I don't think the Nera10, they were making a revolution to overthrow the government. I understand what they were doing. They were exercising their Article 65 right. The right of self-determination, the right to express your political opinion, the right to participate in politics. That's what they were doing. Hostility against the state. An act of war against the state. I don't see these civilians. They were not doing that. I've looked at those things. There is no proper evidence. Insurrection, that's violent rebellion. I did not see the Nera10 using violence against the government of La République. I'll come there. Some of you might say, oh, they did this, they did this. I'll tell you. Civil war, that's another topic. It's not violent rebellion. Civil war. People can fight civil war. That's different. That's why they have war crimes. Convention on war. You arrest prisoners. If La République accept that there was, or there is, a civil war in between British Southern Cameroon and La République, it means you treat them like war prisoners, which they have rights. You don't take people who are exercising the Article 65 right of the Constitution of La République du Cameroon, you say propaganda and fake news. That's one, another charge. Then there's another one, lack of identity. So how can you be charging somebody for lack of identity when you don't, try? You cannot try somebody if you don't know the person's identity. It's a fact. Then when you go, Mr. Anise Ekane, who just passed away, he was accused of what? Hostility against the state, incitement to revolt, call for insurrection. This man is a man who had a political party, Mr. Anise Ekane. Then he said he was doing what? Hostility against the state. How is it hostility against the state? People contest election. I can say I win an election. Donald Trump in America, when he lost the election, he said he won it. Is Donald Trump in prison? No. So we should leave this primitive attitude in Africa. Atanganji, I don't know. Some people have found themselves in a position of minister that they are not qualified. So they can start behaving like barbarians. Do you read your own laws? Where are the lawyers in Cameroon? Where are the human rights activists? Why can you not review these cases? Anise Ekane was accused. Hostility against the state. Incitement to revolt. Call for insurrection. That's why he was arrested. And he died in detention. Another person is going to die. Mr. Bia, release those people. I know some of them. They are seriously sick in Kondengui. But you keep them there. When they die tomorrow, you come and be sending apology. Hypocrites. The Machobixy, Coffin Revolution, Peaceful Revolution, Ngalim Felix, Coffin Revolution, Peaceful Revolution, talking about the socio-economic condition that we of British Southern Cameroon, we have not been privileged. They use their enam on us. French inherited institution, gendarmerie on us, enam, military tribunal, Eric, everything is their French institution. We were not colonized by France. Machobixy, Coffin Revolution. We, in London, we have had Coffin Revolution. Nobody beats us, nobody locks us. That's the difference. Dr. Endeli was right. We cannot live with La République du Cameroon. So, Machobixy and the rest, you say what? Acts of terrorism. What terrorism? Mr. Bia, Ngongo, Ayolo, Shanta Bia, all of you know the definition of terrorism. Machobixy, Ngalim, Abdul Karim, they are not terrorists. They are not. Do you know the meaning? You people just call any person anywhere, just use languages without knowing it. Tell me, what did they do? Spread false information on social media. La République, the government. Every day you people are spreading false information. You lie. There are things I can show you the government. You keep on lying. You lie your people. What crime? It's much more than embezzling taxpayers' money. In China, it's death penalty if you steal taxpayers' money. In Malaysia, it's death penalty. Nearly all Asia, Singapore, you steal government, not government money, it's taxpayers' money. It's death sentence in China. In America, they will give you 150 years for stealing taxpayers' money. But all of you, you're governing. There's evidence that a lot of people in government have stolen money. Even some of them, they are still there. They say they have given back the money. So if somebody stole chicken and the person is put in New Bel Douala prison, he comes and gives the chicken back, you let the person, no! Even if you give it back, it doesn't matter. You still have to be there. Theft is theft. When you steal something, there's something we call in England, Proceeds of Crime Act. So we'll charge you. Then we'll use that Proceeds of Crime Act to make sure we look for those property and seize all the things. And when we seize them, if we don't see it, if they give you 20 years, they will add 5 more years. That's how they deal with it in a court. So don't say somebody have given the money that they stole, you remove them. No, you don't remove them. Once as somebody has stolen something, the person is found guilty, you use, I don't know if they have it in Cameroon law, Proceeds of Crime Act. That means you have to seize all those things, whether it's property or car or whatever, house, you seize it by law. And if They cannot find it. They will add another sentence on the sentence. So that's how you deal with it. You don't release somebody that the person have given money back. So you are charging Machobixy, Kofun Revolution. We can see all the evidence there. They were there, peaceful protests and activists there. You say it's inciting civil war. How is it inciting civil war? But the civil war is war. You see in Ukraine, Russia is war. South Sudan is war. You cannot be charging Nera10, Machobixy, Ngalim, Felix, Abdul Karim, all those people based as if they are, let me put in bracket, your citizen. It's not about citizen. If you agree that there is a civil war in between La République du Cameroon and British Cameroon, then they are war prisoners. You cannot be charging them like that. These are the people that La République du Cameroon says they are terrorists. These are the people. Look, let me call their name. Some of them. Sisiku Ayuk Tabe. Who is Sisiku Ayuk Tabe? An IT expert. Augustine Cheh, Awasum. Who is him? A professor of veterinary medicine. Bless Birinyou Sevinzem. What? A barrister. How is he a terrorist? He's a barrister. Cornelius Njikimbi Kwanga. PhD in economics. You need them to help you for your economics. You're locking them. Egwe Ogongtui. PhD in engineering. We need them. You're locking them up in Kondengui. Elias Eyembe, a barrister. You need them. You say they are. You see, you charge all those charges. How does it fit them? The people you're. It doesn't. As they talk for, it doesn't hold water. Fidel is in their chair. PhD in engineering. Henry Tatakime. PhD in engineering. Those are people you're insulting them on insurrection, rebellion, warfare, fake news on social media, lack of identity. Those are people you're talking about. For Ngala, a political science is powerful. You people are keeping them there. You want them to die. Release them. These people are not what you're claiming them to have done or whatsoever. You know. You know. You know. We friend Fobam Tassam, Tassam. He's a secondary school teacher. How do you balance all these your charges? How in the Cameroon, if I'm there, your constitution say freedom of expression. If Machobixy hold his coffin and say, well, our roads are bad, there's unemployment, that's my freedom of expression. How can you call freedom of expression that is charges against rebellion, terrorism, incitement, insurrection? I don't understand you people. That's why if you have an independent judiciary, an independent judge, when you accuse me, the judge will sit and interpret the law. It's not up to a military tribunal or a to be telling them what to do. That's not fair. Your constitution says people deserve free and fair trial. Somebody say we have freedom of association, peaceful association. Mr. Moïse Kamto left France, came there, he cannot go to his office, head office. Why? After Gaza, the Cameroons is the second open prison. People who were born free, they are everywhere in chains in the Cameroons. I'm calling on Mr. Bia, and I'm calling to those lawyers in the Cameroons. You have a duty to do this for free because nobody is paying me for what I'm doing. I don't know how many of you go to bed and understand that innocent people are being held in Kondengui. They are breaching their human rights. A crime cannot be committed in Bamenda. You take the person and go and lock the person in Yaoundé. Is that where the persons live? When you are in prison, you put the person in a local prison that their family members can often visit them with transport. You go and put them in Yaoundé. They have to pay. You are violating their own human rights and prison law. You have to put them locally. Why are you taking them to Yaoundé? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. In the Cameroons, there was a 1984 coup. We know the people. Some of them, because they are Francophone, La République citizens, they were working with the government. When you commit coup, you commit crime, you come from La République du Cameroon, they put you in government. We know them. They have been in government there for more than 30 years. So tell me that the things that the Ayuk Tabe, Nera10, Ngalim, Abdul Karim was just protesting that the military of La République du Cameroon was torturing a civilian on a video. You lock him up. You're saying that inciting revolution, this. How do you define right to freedom of expression and your so-called, is it what, rebellion, insurrection? Some people cannot, how do you exercise that right now? Because it seems as if you want to use your constitutional right, freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of assembly, you say it's rebellion, it's incitement, it's insurrection. So how do you exercise it, La République? Tell me. Tell me. Because when I talk, your constitution says I have the right. Some people, you call it secession. Your constitution says, these people, they say, we, British Southern Cameroon, like Scotland, they join La République, they join England, sorry. We of British Southern Cameroon, we join you. You did not force us. Some people say we are not happy. Your constitution says if we are not happy, Article 65, the UN Charter, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, African Human and People's Rights or whatsoever, all those things, they are part and parcel of the constitution. They say we have a right to self-determination. It means I can tell you that I don't dare anymore. I don't tire me the union. You dey force your gendarme on me, force your ENS on me, unelected governor on me, never will culture that would they different from una. Una don't give una self more members of parliament since 1961. Una don't give una self more regions and more money since 1961. So una dey marginalize we. Una dey marginalize we on all aspects. And I don't feel waste my time for being with La République me. I dey use na law. Ladies and gentlemen, British Cameroon National Party, they use law. Before you want to say metro elections and get talk, say this, go read una law. Not be me, I write that law. So once more, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This has been a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lisinge, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Thank you.